Hi, my name is Irene and this is my booktube channel Irene Reads. Booktube means that I talk mostly about books on this channel, and today will be no exception. This video is about my first original book tag, Ukrainian book tag. First, quick backstory. I am originally from Ukraine. I was born and raised there, and we came to USA because of my husband's work only 7, almost 8 years ago. But you know, my parents, my family, all my friends, school teachers, everything I loved before coming here stayed in Ukraine. So at least part of my heart will always be in Ukraine. Almost a year ago, February 24th, 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine and started a brutal, dishonest, terroristic war on Ukrainian territory. It was absolutely heartbreaking and terrifying for all people, not only Ukrainians, of course, Ukrainians in the first, but also for all people in the whole world who believe in freedom, who believe in freedom of choice, and of your right for living the life you want to live. And I mean, we live in 21st century. Is it really okay to invade neighbor country? No, it's not. I understand that a lot of people do not want to bring war to their channels because this is their safe place, and they feel that they need to prevent something terrible to enter their channels, and I understand this. That's why I wanted to do a book tag that was peaceful, beautiful, but tell you a little bit about my country. Also, I wanted to mention that there are not many Ukrainian books translated in English, especially older books, classical books that I like more than contemporary fiction. And that's why I don't think I'm in the place to make a video about Ukrainian books, because I just don't know what to recommend. So yeah, that's the reason I wanted to do this very general book tag, talking about some things Ukrainian and asking about your favorite books. So let's start. First prompt will be Ukrainian flag. I do think that lots of people who watch news now know about our flag. It's blue and yellow color, and it's symbolize the blue sky and the fields of yellow wheat, which symbolize, you know, wealth, lots of food on the table, blue sky with good weather, and nothing bad happened to people in this country. So this is very peaceful, very nature-oriented flag, and I really like it. And the first prompt will be a book with yellow and blue cover, or book with your favorite color combination. For this, I'll show you the book that I actually haven't read yet, but it's on my TBR for this year. I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. I am not really a hardcover book buyer. I am more a paperback person, but I really liked this book cover. I like the color combination. I like, I mean, this is beautiful. I do think it's beautiful. This is a coming-of-age story about a young girl who wants to be a writer and who lives in the huge mansion, which is a castle, and she writes like a diary about her days. And I believe it's a beautiful coming-of-age story. It's one of the favorite J.K. Rowling books, and I do think that I will enjoy it. But yeah, this is a book with blue and yellow cover. Second tag will be Kalatka. Kalatka, this is Ukrainian word. This is Christmas carol, something like that. You can describe it like that. Ukrainian Christmas Eve tradition is that young people, not small kids, but also young adult people, gather together in groups and go to the houses and sing beautiful songs, wishing well-being to the people in these houses, and people give them food, something sweet, maybe something even to drink, and they then go to another house. Think like Halloween meets Christmas caroling. After Christianity, of course, more and more of these songs became more like Christian hymns, but still lots of them we have from very, very old times. And the most well known in our country, in Ukraine, is Shchedryk. And actually, you know it's very well too. Because in 1929, one of Ukrainian composers with his chorus, he came to USA, to Carnegie Hall, I think, and later one of the songs which were the most popular on this concert was given English words which are not translated from Ukrainian. They are different words but the same music, and it became the Carol of the Bell. So our Shchedryk is ours Carol of the Bells. I will put an original version down below if you're interested to listen to it in Ukrainian, and I will put some Wikipedia, some articles about each of the prompts down below. If you want to know more about Ukraine, you can use these resources. So for this prompt, you need to tell about book, about immigrant experience or traveling. Because, this Kalatka immigrated from Ukraine to USA and now has another name and is very popular here. So my favorite book about immigration, which is actually very light-hearted, heartwarming, but also with some deep thoughts and understanding of this process and experience, is Brooklyn by Colm Tobin. This is about a young Irish girl who went to New York and she settled there. She had some life, she got a boyfriend and a job, but then something happened and she had to return for a few months back to Ireland. And then her life there also kind of get her some promises. And this is a book about how he had to choose one of two lives she can have, one in New York and one in Ireland. And I like this book because of this choice, because of this experience, because I really think it's important to understand that immigration is always a choice. And so highly recommend this book, and also this is for second book prompt. Third is Pysanka. Pysanka is our Easter tradition. This is how we color eggs. Well, I want to say I never did it myself because it's really complicated work and no one in my family knew how to do it. But a lot of families still know how to do it themselves. So you use colorings and wax. And the idea is that when you seal ornament with wax, you will put the cover on top of it. The places where the wax are will stay intact. So you can put color after color. So you put color, then wax, then another color. And then after that, when you put all wax off, you have these complicated patterns of different colors putting on top of each other, and beautiful, very complicated ornaments. Even looking on this, I just don't understand how people get to do this and to manage to, invent these ornaments. I think it's beautiful and very complicated and extremely interesting, and I would like to do it one day. But for this prompt, I wanted you to show me a book with a masterfully crafted plot. It's not necessarily a mystery book, but it can be a mystery book. For me, it's a mystery book. I will show you two mystery books, which I think the crime was very complicatedly crafted. So it was a complicated plot in the middle of this book. First is The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, and other is A Murder on Orient Express. I do think that Golden Age mystery book, especially Agatha Christie, tends to do this really complicated, plotted stories. But maybe you can think about another book from another genre which has also very neatly done, complicated plot, and please tell us about this book for this prompt. Fourth is sunflower. Sunflower is a symbolic flower for Ukraine. It represents sun. Maybe you know, maybe not, but sunflower turns its head where the sun is, and it's actually really interesting to watch the whole fields of sunflowers who are just slowly turning from one part to another during the day. It's actually mesmerizing. And in Ukrainian soil, sunflowers grew beautifully. There are a lot of fields of sunflowers, and also this symbol of following the sun really touches something in my heart, and it's really beautiful. And before becoming Christian, Ukraine actually had a long history and a long culture history before Christianity. So a lot of these very ancient symbols, they came from that time, but also they became Christian symbols because, you know, the sun is a god, and so following the sun, we are following the god, and it's beautiful, and it's a beautiful flower. And I was raised in the south of Ukraine, where there are a lot of sunflower fields. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful part of country. And yeah, for this, please tell me about a book with a beautiful nature writing. And for this, I failed to bring one book. I just don't know which book has the most beautiful nature writing. I can't remember. I thought about Wind in the Willows. I also thought about the Forsyth Saga by John Galsworthy. There are a lot of beautiful passages, but they are not very long. They are smallish, so I couldn't find you the best one. From the recent my reads, I do think that Inspector Mangamash series by Louise Penny has the most beautiful, unexpectedly beautiful nature writing for murder mystery, and I like this book for that. But again, I failed to find one excerpt that I can read you. So here we go. These are the books that I recommend, but maybe you have something else. Fifth prompt will be Borscht. These 4 letters at the end of this word is actually one letter and one sound in Ukrainian. So it's not Borscht, it's Borscht. And I have no idea how you guys pronounce it. I would do something with my tongue while telling this. So borscht is a soup which is very popular in Ukraine. It's actually like everyday food, very comforting, very usual for us, but very good. This is a vegetable soup, but actually it's almost always is done with beef broth or other broth, and it has vegetables like potatoes, onions, garlic, carrots, and mainly beets. Beets are the main thing in borscht. Also in some regions, tomatoes. Every household has its favorite recipe that goes, you know, through the generations, and every woman knows how to make borscht, and every woman make it absolutely differently. So yeah, maybe one day I will do you like masterclass, because of course I also have my favorite recipe. But yeah, so borscht is like a food symbol of Ukraine, and I like it. But you know, you like it like everyday food, like mac and cheese for Americans. But it's so usual thing to eat in my family, but very comforting. So for this, tell me please about your favorite food and a book that features it, or your favorite cookbook. For this, I'll do cookbook. This cookbook is the most used in my household. This is Dinner a Love Story by Jenny Rosenstretch. it's like a story about her family evolving and growing from being a single person, young adult, to being a family with 2 older kids. So through all stages in between, how their dinner habits and dishes they put on the table changed. This book it's like more, I think, for millennials. It covers basics that most people my age now have on their table, like more something in between of comforting food, but also like healthy food, but very kid oriented, because they had 2 kids in the family and you need to evolve in this direction if you want to feed them. I like this book. It helped me a lot during my immigration process, because I had an idea how to cook from the ingredients on our now shelves. But yeah, this is one of 2 I want to show you. And the second one, please don't laugh. This is the most precious thing in my household, and of course, except of my kids and money and documents. This will be the first thing I will save from fire. This is a book that my mom, a notebook, wrote our family recipes in when I went from Ukraine to USA. So it's my mom handwriting, telling about all my favorite, mostly baking dishes, but not only. And actually I cook from it very often, and I cherish it. It's very close to my heart. It's one of my favorite things in my house. So yes, this is my favorite cookbook. Number 6 is Volodymyr Zelensky. This is our president, Ukrainian president. What I want to say, he was elected while I was in USA, and I was surprised with the choice, because I knew him as a comedian, yes, very successful, yes, I liked him as a comedian, as an actor, but I never thought of him as a politician, and I was not sure, but I was proved very wrong. He is a natural leader. I think he did so many great things for his country, our country, and I do think he is a very brave man, standing in the middle of this chaos and still representing country and asking for help and doing speeches. He is the face of our country, he is our leader, and we are very proud of him. And I do think, so this is our president. And for this, please tell me about a book with an unlikely hero. For me, such book will be The Lord of the Rings. This is the Fellowship of the Ring, but the whole trilogy counts. Frodo, the main protagonist, the main hero in this book, is a very peaceful hobbit, living a very small life, who proved being one of the bravest persons in his world, in his time. And everyone counts on him, and he saved the entire world. And he did it while still being frightened and being weak, but gathering around himself people who believed in him and who knew how to do their job. He won this war. And I think this is a beautiful metaphor for our president. So, Fellowship of the Ring. And lastly, number 7 is Vyshyvanka. Vyshyvanka is from word vyshyvati, to embroider. So this is embroidered shirt, which was like the main clothing piece, I think, in 19th century and earlier. All people wear them, all women embroidered them for themselves and also for their husbands and fathers and men in their lives. These ornaments were deeply symbolical, and colors were mainly black, red and white, and also color shades differed from region to region because nature colored colorings were used, and you know, these things, plants from which these colors were got, they differs from region to region. So while looking at the ornaments and on the colors in these ornaments, you could realize from which region this person is. Also, this was a talisman because women were praying while embroidered them, and also just wishing them, you know, to be beautiful, to be safe, to be healthy, all the stuff. And we tell about the very lucky person that he was born in Vyshyvanka. This is a lucky thing for every person who have it. For me, I tried to think about something interesting and you know, serious for this prompt, but I couldn't, because Vyshyvanka for me represents childhood. This is me in the first day of school. Vyshyvanka was our like holiday attire for school, and for me it always blends with this experience being a big girl, first time went to school, and I don't know, it's just one of my favorite photos of myself. Can you see I was ginger and very curly, and this is my Vyshyvanka, which I think brought me luck. So here we are. For this prompt, please tell me about a favorite book from your childhood. So not your favorite children's book now, but favorite book from your childhood when you were young. Whatever childhood means for you, like whatever age. Or about a book that brings you luck, you think, or maybe that you read in hard times to comfort you. Whatever suits you, please tell me about this book. I wanted to tell you about my children's books, because why not? I will not tell a long story about these books, but I will show you my favorite books from my childhood. I've read them actually in Russian mostly, some of them actually in Ukrainian, but now I have them in English because, of course, first things I bought to my children are my favorite books. It's, yeah. So, The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, The Witch, the Lion and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, The Children of Noisy Village by Astrid Lindgren, and Roller Skates by Ruth Sawyer. This is actually, I had no idea, but it won a Newbery Award, and this is a beautiful book about community, about finding friends in unusual places, about Shakespeare, and yeah, I loved it while I was small. So this is it. I hope you'll enjoy doing this tag. I hope you'll mention Ukraine somehow in your channel. It was a hard time for all Ukrainians, but we are full of hope and full of dreams for our future. And we are sure that we will rebuild our country sometime soon. But first we need to clean our country from all these people who invaded it, and then something great will happen there. Thank you for helping Ukraine. Thank you for our country leaders for helping Ukraine. Thank you for your donation and just being kind to all Ukrainian people who now spread all over the world while fleeing from the war. yeah, thank you for your support. I hope you'll have a wonderful day, and I hope we all have a peaceful and beautiful future. See you in another video.